fascinated to talk to our next guest. Let me introduce you to Alex and Nick Bourne. They share a bond, an unbreakable bond, not only because they're brothers, but because Alex has Down syndrome and Nick helps him with his daily life. And rather than be held back by Alex's condition, they've gone on a journey. What a journey it is. Amazing. To meet other siblings in a similar situation.
Yeah, it's fascinating. It's taken them a long time to do. We're going to talk to them all about it. But let's first have a look at how they documented this in their documentary called Handsome.
Well, hello, Nick, and hello, Handsome. Yeah, that's what he calls you, isn't it? Yeah. I get that all the time, I'm the same. Tell us about the documentary itself. What is Hello, Handsome all about? How would you describe it?
Well, really, it's just about brothers, I think, and siblings and meeting people like us. And I think the reason we wanted to do it was because there was nothing like it. And I always felt that maybe, you know, when Alex grows up, there's going to be some fears and anxieties about when my parents go, how are we going to cope and things like that, and what's on the horizon for Alex. So it was important to do, I felt. And there was nothing like it. There's nothing about siblings. So I thought it was so important.
And you are the eldest brother, so you're 29, and Alex, you're 26. So when you were growing up, Nick, I suppose people like Alex weren't really represented, so you didn't have anything to kind of judge your sibling relationship on.
Absolutely, yeah. And I think I mentioned briefly in the documentary that when I was growing up, I was a little bit ashamed of Alex, and I love him now. And
but that must have been very hard to admit.
Yeah. But I think it's important to do something like that, so you are truthful and you can sort of give back and say, do you know what? It's okay to have those feelings, but recognise them, move on for them, and sort of learn. I think, and the best way to do that is just talk about it.
Well, look, there's only 3 years between you. And your social circles would have crossed and whatever. So when you were saying this embarrassment that you had, how would it manifest itself and what areas?
Just kind of at parties, social events, at school. It was just, I didn't want him to be around my friends because he was different. And it's, you know, but that feeling is okay. And it's like, do you know what? Let's not talk about, let's talk about it. And recognise it and just...
And do you remember that, Alex? Do you remember Nick not wanting you with his friends and his parties? You do?
Oh,
yeah.
You do.
Alex.
But the not cool kid became very cool, didn't he?
Exactly.
With his own documentary and everything.
And it's handsome because he's handsome.
Yeah.
Really.
Also, I was reading, Nick, that you said you felt, in the nicest possible way, obviously, that your parents possibly do too much for Alex and that you felt he could be a little bit more independent. And that was also part of the trip. You thought, I'm going to get him away and I'm going to make him do things. Yeah.
And even simple things like making a cup of tea. And we lived together before it started filming. And Alex used to cross the road. He used to go by himself to do things, make a cup of tea, make his own breakfast. And I think it was important to get him to that stage where just pushing the boundaries a little bit.
Well, you push the boundaries with this film. And incidentally, if you want to download this, whatever, it's available it's available from next Monday, is it?
That's it,
right.
Monday.
All major platforms, including iTunes, Google Play and YouTube. Handsome, it is called. The journey. Tell us about the first stop and going to Cornwall, because you wanted to meet people in a similar situation.
Absolutely. And I think when we started making it, we thought, OK, this is going to be a very loving, fun adventure, which it was. But also we kind of came across people who were a little bit different to Alex and I. And Down syndrome was something that maybe they didn't want to talk about. So it turned into something different. And by the time we got to Vietnam, there was some very dark places we went into. And obviously as brothers, I'm thinking, well, I don't want to push the boundaries too far, but it was important to show it for an audience, to show the truth.
And what did you discover for how Down syndrome is accepted or not accepted in different countries? Because I believe there was somewhere you went where they believe it's something that can be cured.
Yeah, in Vietnam. In fact, we saw someone who said that if we give them $100, then there's a 60% chance that Alex could be cured. And they take money from you know, tourists who are happy to pay this.
We're going to show a clip now, and this is you in India talking to Krish about his brother. That must make you sad, hearing that.
Yeah, very sad, and not just in India, but in Vietnam. And I think when you hear about those experiences, you just want to do something, but you just think, well, what can we do?
Yeah. Now, if anybody's wondering, Alex has, fairness to say, you've got trouble with your speech. Should you know, and from that point of view, why is that, Nick?
Alex, what do you think about your speech?
Cornwall,
Went to Cornwall,
Vietnam, Bombay,
Mumbai,
and India.
and India. Yeah.
I suppose what I'm saying is that the complexities of Down syndrome mean it affects different people
Absolutely.
in different ways. And not everybody with Down syndrome, of course, their speech is affected. But what would you say about his speech situation?
I think a lot of it is confidence as well. Sometimes I can be sitting with Alex and we can have a chat about loads of different things. Sometimes he'll just go on
Yes.
and talk about things that just, well, like, where's that coming from? But then other times it's very shy and it's the confidence thing. So I know that Alex can do it. It's just a question of, what do you think, Alex? I don't know. There's so many complexities to it.
Did you see any changes in Alex and yourself, actually, for the travels you've been on, the people you've met,
Yeah.
the siblings that you met who were in a similar situation to you? What did you think differently when you came back?
I suppose when we started, I always felt like I wanted to change Alex and I wanted Alex to experience all these different things. But it didn't turn out like that. In matter of fact, it actually turned out the opposite. And actually, I changed as a result of it. I wanted to go and get married and do my own things, and Alex needed to have his own life. So it was a complete change.
Can Alex have his own life in the form that it's independent or not?
I don't think so. I think for someone like Alex, you know, somewhere like a supported living place where there's other carers there who can help him, that's what the goal is for Alex. Because I don't think he'll ever be able to he wouldn't be able to go and make himself some lunch or dinner or things like that. So I think Alex will always have to have someone.
So is
to care
that
for him.
the next step?
That's the next step.
That you find
hopefully.
independent living, where he gets help but has a bit more independence.
Absolutely.
Yeah. People living in England and Wales with Down syndrome, 41,000 of them. And there's a lot of stats on the whole situation, but the future, this is about the future. It's about analysing Down syndrome and people's reaction to it, and most of all your own reaction to it, Nick, which is featured in the film. It is a beautiful film. It's a very informative film as well. So, handsome, well done.
Did you enjoy it, Alex?
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you like to travel more now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
That's you. You have to go with him too.
Yeah. Where do you want to go? Where should we go next? Where should we go? The beach. Yeah, let's go to the beach.
Good choice.
Good idea,
choice.
good idea. Handsome. It's on all major platforms, including iTunes, Google Play and YouTube, and it stars Alex Bourne. So there we go. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Lovely to
Thank
meet
you,
you.
guys.
Thank you.